was in high school.
Okay, let's figure. I don't know. Let's start in. Last thing I asked you about, I think, was what kind of courses you took, and
Yeah.
yeah,
We just took the basic stuff. I mean, there was no. We didn't have anything as trig and stuff like that.
keep talking.
The only thing, the highest math in high school we had was plain geometry and algebra 2. And the only reason I got out of algebra 2 was my math teacher, my senior year, she'd gone to school at Roxborough, and it was 11 grades, and she had skipped 1 or 2 grades in that. She went to East Carolina, ECTC. She came out of there in 3 years. Her husband was in the Navy, and she was but about a year older than I was, and she was a fine woman. But
Well, you got to have a good form to be in geometry. No.
but I got straight A's in algebra straight through. But algebra 2. But you know, the only thing I remember in plain geometry was the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the other 2 sides.
Pythagorean theorem.
I was down at Billy's, oh shucks, it's been 25, 30 years ago. But Murray Fortune from Ocracoke was captain on one of Billy's boats, and he was rigging up his tickler chain for his shrimp trawls. And jotting some stuff down. I said, Mary, what are you doing? I said, I'm rigging up this tickler chain. I said, yep, you're using the square on the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square on the other 2 sides.
Yeah.
That's the only time I've ever seen anything pertaining to plain geometry used since I was in high school.
Well, when we used to have our wood shop out here,
Yep.
I've used it on the wood shop because you got to figure out the length. If you're doing some angle, you can use it as cosines and sines, but if you're doing a 45, that's how you do it. Okay.
Now my daddy could do some of the prettiest woodwork you have ever seen in your blame life. And remember, he had that one little table saw.
I remember that.
And had a little drill press, and that was it. Not another blame and I believe he had a little small joiner, and that was it. But he could run some of the prettiest blame shavings of the hand plane of anybody. He could really pull one off that blame.
I still have one of his several of his hand planes probably. Okay, I had another question. School. Well, so Mom was a cheerleader. Did you play any sports in high school?
Basketball.
Yeah. How were you?
Oh, good. We didn't have anyway, let me back up a little bit. The General Assembly, I was 15. I must have been a sophomore in school. They came out. There were so many of the sons of the farm families that had gone in the army, and their daddies had bought an automobile or a truck one because their son knew how to drive. Well, the daddies didn't know how to drive. Well, when the sons went in the army, that was sitting there. They didn't have no way to do nothing. So the General Assembly passed a law, at least they were going to vote on a law, where if you were 15 and a half years old, you could get 15, you could get your driver's license. Well, I got out of school one afternoon, and Daddy was out in the parking lot. He was working with the Forest Service then. He saw me coming on and said, come here. I walked on over and said, do you want to go get your driver's license? I said, what? He said, that law was passed today. I said, let's go. We went down. And that's when he gave me that 1934 Ford that he had bought brand splendid new when he was in the CCC camp.
Wow.
But I was playing basketball next year. Charlie was a junior, I was a sophomore, yeah. We didn't have any heat in our gymnasium whatsoever. It was cold as the devil in the wintertime. So we made arrangements some way or another that we could use the gymnasium over at Watt Street Elementary, there in Durham. Charlie was playing basketball, and I've forgotten who else was. We were coming out of there one night after basketball practice, came on down there and hit Grayson Street, started toward Trinity, going back. There was a stoplight there at Trinity. Well, shit, he and I were racing, boy. And Charlie had a 1933 Chevrolet, and I had that 34 Ford. Charlie had a pretty little old Chevrolet, had the trunk and everything built out behind. Well, I'd gotten just about as far from here to the head to the back of your truck ahead of Charlie, and the amber light came on the stoplight and it turned red. Well, I hit the brakes. Well, that mechanic, the 34, they didn't put hydraulic brakes on Fords till 36 or 37. It had the mechanical brakes, and you had to keep those cables adjusted exactly right. Sometimes the left side would hit, sometimes the right side would break. But shit, I'd gotten just ahead of Charlie enough that I hit the brakes, and we just passed a city bus. He was running right behind us. And I hit the brakes and turned right in front of Charlie, and he hit me right broadside. But hell, it was more metal in that damn 34 Ford that is in your pickup, ours, and the Camaro all put together. Shit, it rocked us all up. Before Charlie and I got out, I forgot who was riding with me. Charlie had a whole carload too. The bus stopped to see how many folks had gotten killed. Shit, by that time, the light had turned green. We took off like a fire. I got home and stopped somewhere along the line, and I looked at the side of my car, the running board all caved in. I said, oh shit. So I got home and I pulled it in the garage, in that garage thing, and I didn't ever pull in there. But I pulled on in there, and Daddy was wondering the next morning. I come up and parked under the garage, and he went out there and looked and saw the side of the damn running board all told caved in. Well, I had to tell him what it was. But anyway, I had that Ford, and I went up there to the ag shop one night, got the acetylene torch, and I cut the exhaust pipe off right down. It came off the manifold. I cut it in two.
Jesus.
Right there. Pulled the rest of the exhaust pipe, the muffler, the tailpipe, the whole blade kit and caboodle out from under it. Put a piece of 2-inch well pipe.
Oh my God.
And straight blade back. Man, you talk about something. Lord have mercy.
What did your dad say about the straight pipe?
Nothing. Daddy didn't even bother with me anymore about the damn car. But anyway, Charlie was driving the school bus.
What grade are we? Keep us in time sequence here.
I must have been still a sophomore. Charlie was a junior. But they had moved to Durham in the meantime.
And where you were, was that still Wake Forest, or was that considered just Durham, or just in Durham County?
Wake Forest, Durham city limits was up there about where the Forks is, down to 98 and 70.
Yeah, oh, wow.
Marriage. That's where the city limits was. Everything there was county.
So Durham County.
Yeah, Durham County. So, Charlie was still in school, but he was in Durham. So, Mr. Neal gave me the bus as a substitute. And I was driving the bus. Well, hell, Leroy Cooley and I've forgotten how many others were driving the bus. Everybody kept the governor's trip. Shit.
On the bus?
Running flat and damn wide open. That's the fastest son of a bitch in the run. All the time. But the next year I got it full time, driving the bus.
And you're a junior now?
Yeah, I was a junior. Charlie, somewhere or another, they had changed it there when Charlie was in the 11th grade. They allowed them, if they had X number of credits, like they could go on and get out and graduate and go in service. Well, he went to Coast Guard. He didn't ever go to 12th grade. But I was driving the bus the 11th. My junior year and had the governor's trip to usual. I'd unloaded all the young'uns and coming on home down there about Mr. Jimmy Petty's. It started knocking just a little bit. Well, I looked at the oil pressure and it was still holding good. So I kept driving, I got within a couple of miles of home, and boy, it locked up just as tight as a damn tick. Eased on off the side of the road, parked and walked on home. Called the garage, they sent a wrecker down there, one of those old FWDs with the state highway, because the school bus didn't have a wrecker. They pulled my bus in. Next morning, Mr. Neal called me in. Said, Carl, the engine's blown in your truck, in your bus. Said, I'm gonna have to fire you. And I don't know why they fired Monroe Scoggins, but he got fired off his the same damn morning. They called us both in there. We started on out, and he said, boys, it's gonna be bad. Somebody else gets y'all's bus and they get better gas mileage than what y'all were getting. Shit, cause I was hitting, me and Monroe both they'd fill the buses up on Tuesday and Thursday one week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday the next. And he and I were hitting them both for 5 gallons every day. For years, every time I'd walk by a school bus, my mouth would, and I'm stuck on the damn side. Daddy was working with ABC then, and they'd go to a still and get maybe, hell, 8 or 10, they'd blow a still and it'd be 8 or 10 cases of empty fruit jars there. He put it in, Daddy had them stacked out there in the back garage. Well, hell, he didn't ever look down at that bottom tier, those 2 bottom tiers, all those half-gallon jars filled full of gas. Hell, between that and Daddy had gotten me and Paul Furl and Tom Shaw job fighting forest fire. Because Daddy had been to forest fire war.
And what year are we talking now? You're still in high school.
Yeah, my junior year.
So you're born in 28, so you're 16 now?
About 15. No, must have turned 16 by then.
So this is 30, help me out here, 40, in the 40s.
40, must have been 40,
43.
45, something along there, because I'm driving school bus. But anyway, I called D.W. Fletcher. He was in school with me, in my grade. Called him that. No, I saw him at school that afternoon. I said, D, I got to do something tonight. He said, what? I said, Mr. Neal's already told me and Monroe it's going to be hell. If Morris Taylor had gotten my bus, I said, it's going to be hell today if Morris gets better mileage than I was getting. I forgot who got Monroe's bus. I said, I want some help tonight. He said, all right. I said, I'll come by there and pick you up. So Morris lived over there not too far from Harold. Lived down a path, maybe half mile from the road. It was raining that night, just pouring down rain. Had to crawl through a broom sage field. Each one of us had a 5-gallon can. we crawled through that field and we got to the school bus and we could hear Morris and his brothers in the bus talking. He and I crawled up underneath that damn bus, siphoned 2 5-gallon cans of gas out, crawled back out through that blame field and went back out the road and got in the car. Morris didn't even get out to the road that morning before he came out of gas.
Oh, he like that.
We had drained the gas out of it.
You gotta go out?
Come on, Jed.
Let's take a break.